This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Stacy Jensen. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900.
Welcome to News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
I'm Stacy Jensen. It's January 12th.
Well, this afternoon there was a structure fire on the south end of Pahrump. We have more details in this story. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, along with Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies and auxiliary units, were dispatched for a structure fire on Thousand Air near Homestead this afternoon. According to the Nye County Sheriff's Office dispatch, the fire started in the kitchen area of this wood-built home. According to Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, the fire was well developed upon arrival. One occupant was able to egress from the home. It's unclear at this time if there were any animals inside the structure. There was heavy fire showing from the backside of this residence. Traffic was blocked in all directions during the fire suppression and investigation. We'll have more on the story on tomorrow night's broadcast.
And just about the same time that fire was going on, we had an injury, a vehicle versus a pedestrian crash. This happened at the parking lot of Horizon Market on Simpkins and Blagg Road. Another individual declined to be transported from the scene. That crash between an RV and a classic car that struck two people were in front of the vehicle looking under the hood. It was being investigated by Nye County Sheriff's Office. One female was arrested by police. The RV reportedly struck the back of the car at the gas pumps, which then struck the individuals in front of the car. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived and medically transported a patient. Well, dozens of teams raced through the desert, hoping to take first place in this year's 4WP Desert Showdown. The off-road race takes drivers 235 miles through southern Nye County, with drivers crossing the finish line at the Pahrump Nugget. Legacy Racing's Donald Jackson says it's the second year for the event.
We brought this race last year when we launched Legacy Racing. We want to come back to Pahrump. It's a racer's favorite, and so Pahrump Nugget was more than willing to help host the event, and we were excited to be here in Pahrump, so we're back for year two with a 235-mile off-road race today.
The race started in Johnny, taking drivers northwest along the U.S. Route 95 corridor, passing through Crystal, Amargosa Valley, and Big Dune Recreation Area before turning around south of the Beatty Airport and heading back to Pahrump, where they crossed the finish line at the Pahrump Nugget.
So this is the first race of the season. So we're kicking off the 2022 series. So our next race is next month in February. We're going to be in Laughlin for a dirt bike and quad race, and then we come just north of Beatty in May and we do what's called the Baja Nevada. So that's going to be a 650-mile off-road race, one-day race, starting just north of Beatty and going all the way to Hawthorne and then coming back and finishing in Tonopah. So we had 60 vehicles today. That's all classes involved, and we anticipate 150 for Baja Nevada, so it'll be kind of a little bigger event. One team said they reached 147 miles an hour. So they were definitely cooking. And the first vehicle started at 9 a.m. and we had our first finisher at 12:30, 235 miles. Wow. So that's somewhere around, without doing the math right now, about 71 mile an hour average. We've been working on it for months and laying everything out and doing all the GPS work and whatnot. Unfortunately, with all the rains you guys had recently and the flooding out here on 160, we had 6 miles that was unpassable. So we had to bring in a tractor and started on Thursday fixing the route so we could get through today. We love Pahrump, we love off-road racing here in this part of the state.
Oh, it was so much fun out there. The overall winner of the 4WP Desert Showdown, competing in Class 6100, was a team from Torrance, California. And a veteran firefighter and EMT with Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue is hanging up his hat, his boots, and the rest of his fire gear. John Ashcroft served more than 30 years with the department, long enough to see a lot of change and growth. Now he looks forward to enjoying his retirement. We had a chance to speak with John at the end of his final shift.
We started out as volunteers up till 1998, and then officially in 99 we became a paid department, and we've just been progressing forward ever since.
How many years did you work as a volunteer?
Just about 12.
Wow, that's a lot. What's some of the things that really stand out to you being a firefighter EMT?
A lot of it is being there, bringing individuals into the world.
Yeah.
And on the opposite end, being there when the individuals leave this world.
Do you know how many babies you've helped deliver?
12.
12.
Yes.
Wow. How many are named John?
None. Thank goodness.
What's some of the calls that really stand out to you?
The one that stands out the most was we had a structure fire right at the end of Fire Prevention Week. And it turned out that the 2 children that were lost their lives in the fire, one of them was a schoolmate of my son.
Yeah.
And that hit pretty deep.
How do you like the transformation of Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue over the years?
It's been a little difficult at times.
Yeah.
All in all, it's progressed in a positive way. A lot of people don't see that, but it has.
Yeah.
We've gotten a lot better. When I first started, I was a EMT for Nye County and a firefighter for Pahrump Fire.
Oh, wow.
So I was doing dual jobs, and they would pull me off fire to take care of ambulance if they were shorter people, or I would get pulled off ambulance because there were shorter people on fire. So it's been fun.
What's some of the things you're going to miss the most?
The people,
Yeah.
the people I work with, just the way we deal with situations, and how we joke with each other. But we're just a large family.
So I know you're going to go visit your granddaughters in Florida. What else are you going to be doing?
Spoiling my fur babies.
Yeah.
And which they're spoiled already. But I'm just gonna try to get together with my girlfriend and try to settle down and just go travel and see the world.
Well, he will be missed. It's funny because John told me that one of Vern's very first interviews that he did when he opened the TV station was with John. He was asking him to show him the fire trucks and how they worked so many years ago. All right. Well, more news right after this.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by Sunset Valley Pools. For quality service and supplies, call 775-513-4114.
Welcome back. Another candidate wants to represent Nevada's 36th district in the state assembly. Matt Sadler is a local business owner who grew up in southern Nevada, and since 2018 he's called Pahrump home. Sadler is kicking off his campaign with the celebration this Saturday at the Bob Roode Community Center. He tells News 25 he wants to bring change to Carson City.
I don't think our leadership is doing quite enough to fight for our freedoms, to establish a state where we can be free to be ourselves, to run our businesses, and to raise our families and our children. I think in the last year or two, we've seen pretty clearly that the First Amendment's kind of been under assault in some kind of ways. Some of the restrictions and our reactions to the pandemic have kind of restricted our liberties and our freedoms. What I want to see happen is I want to see our lawmakers try to rein in the governor, try to rein in any kind of executive rule by fiat is what I've been seeing. I think the lawmakers have to come together and do some sort of legislation, come together, pass a law that is going to rein in and restrict the governor's ability to have perpetual states of emergency. So within 3 weeks or 4 weeks of any declared state of emergency, I think a session of Congress, of the legislature, has to be called in order to extend or to continue the states of emergency, because I think there's too much power there. I don't really want to tear down someone to build myself up. So what I see, there are some policy differences, of course, but what I see with myself is a fighter's ability to take the fight to Carson City. Speaking to lots of people in my industry, I've spoken to dozens and dozens and dozens, probably hundreds of clients in the past year or two. and I don't feel like their needs and their voices are being heard.
Matt Sadler's campaign kickoff celebration is this Saturday, January 15th from 4:30 to 9 at the Bob Roode Community Center. Sadler will compete against incumbent Gregory Hafen in the primary election scheduled for June 14th. To learn more about Sadler, just visit VoteMattSadler.com. He's also on Facebook.
And it's not how every parent would handle their search for a great school for their children. However, when a Memphis mom couldn't find a school she thought it was the right fit, she boldly started her own school. Kim Martinez shows us why this new micro school is resonating with other Memphis parents.
I was looking for something a little bit different, something that I had seen, something that I had heard, but also on some level, things that I had not seen.
Coy Morrison, mother of two, is talking about how she came to start a unique micro school.
And I thought, well, geez, I can't be the only parent in this city looking for something just like this. And it turns out I wasn't.
Using her background in education, her MBA, and belief as a parent that she could do better for not only her children, but others as well, she opened the Lab School of Memphis.
Looks like Knox is feeling a lot of different emotions today, which is okay.
We do lots of social emotional learning. Can you tell me which word feels good for you, for your mantra? As we come to know ourselves and love ourselves and develop confidence, that translates into the way we learn and how much we learn.
Parent Robert Bledsoe says it's remarkable how quickly his daughter is learning now.
She's been more assertive and more precise in the things that she wants to do, wants to talk about, and wants to learn.
Starting as a micro school to serve just a handful of students, there's 2 small learning studios, but they're filled with positivity, from their artwork to their vocabulary lessons.
I have some examples of some things that I say to myself when I need a little pep talk. I might say, I am strong.
I am strong.
Or I might say, I am brave.
I am brave.
The size certainly makes a huge difference. Even as we grow in the coming year, our studios will likely max out, even for each grade level, will max out at between probably 16 and 20 learners.
If you have a class size of 30 and you have 27 kids who all learn the same way and they're all excelling, and you have 3 who don't quite learn like everyone else, from my experience and what I've seen in the school system, those 3 kids often get pushed to the side.
P! P! What sound does P make?
With a commitment to making sure no one gets pushed to the side here, the Lab School of Memphis is both teaching their young students on their terms as well as guiding them to become their best little selves. Kim Martinez reporting.
As the Omicron variant continues to spread, new questions are surfacing about which kind of mask is best when it comes to protecting yourself. So we asked the experts at Cleveland Clinic.
There's multiple studies that have shown that surgical masks are better than just cloth masks. So if you want some more protection at that point of time, surgical masks, which are the right size for you, and for you to pinch the mask appropriately would be the recommendation for people.
Dr. Abhijit Dougal is a critical care specialist. He says cloth masks can work too, but it's important to make sure they have at least 2 layers and can adequately cover your nose and mouth. However, he advises against wearing gaiters or bandanas since they are loose-fitting. As far as the N95 and KN95 masks go, he says those are the most effective, but they're not necessarily needed for the general public. They are typically used in healthcare settings. He reiterates that surgical masks work just fine. Dr. Dougal says he also wants to point out that while masks can help provide protection from the virus, nothing can replace the vaccine.
And this is one of those things that we hear all the time. Well, there's vaccinated people who are getting the infection too. Yes, some vaccinated people might get the infection, but the overwhelming number of patients who get the infection are people who are not vaccinated.
Dr. Dougal says it's also important to avoid regularly touching your mask once you put it on, as that can be a way to spread germs. If you have to take it off, use the ear loops on the sides of the mask. The CDC also recommends washing reusable masks as they become dirty, or at least once a day. Disposable masks should be thrown out after 1 use.
All right, when we come back, we'll have more with our Save a Pet right after this break.
You're watching News 25. brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
And for today's Save a Pet, we're back inside the cat room at Desert Haven Animal Society, where Darby O'Donnell Westerman introduces us to Oreo.
This segment is brought to you by Higher Society Smoke Shop in Las Vegas. Call 702-982-2300. Call 702-982-2300.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Oreo. Oreo is a 2-year-old domestic long-haired tuxedo cat. Gorgeous cat. Beautiful, beautiful coloring. Primarily black, but then he has like these beautiful white little details and a cute little black goatee. So cute. He has beautiful green eyes. He's currently making mush on my arm. Very large cat, very, very mellow, super sweet. He actually was all cuddled up and I opened his cage and he got so excited and wanted to go and come out and cuddle with me. If you want to come and see Oreo or any of his friends here at Desert Haven Animal Society, you can give them a call, 775-751-7020, or you can look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society. Bye, Oreo.
Okay, we all want to adopt Oreo now. All right, students in the Nye County School District are back in class. That means things are happening in the schools. With this week's edition of Student News, here's Luis Bizzato.
Hello, I'm Luis Bizzato, a senior here at Plum Valley High School, and I'm here to report on some exciting news. January 24th is the beginning of the spring semester for Great Basin College. Classes can be in person or online. If you have further questions, please contact GBC via email or through their offices found in the front of the high school. January 15th is a cleanup of Trojan Park conducted by the National Honor Society. If you're part of NHS or closest one is, NHS would love any help from hard workers who would like to improve the park. Please bring gloves and proper equipment like shovels and pitchforks. Lastly, winter formal tickets will start being sold next week, and there is no school Monday because of Martin Luther King Day. So enjoy the long weekend.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
It's a beautiful day out there today once again. Some clouds in the sky.
Yep, we got light winds probably in the forecast too. John's going to have all that and more coming up.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Happy Wednesday, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. Nice to see you. Hoisting a big, refreshing glass of pretend Nevada Dairy Council milk and toasting the weather today. Oh, it's wonderful stuff. Look at this. Everything's kind of heating up. We got mid-50s from Fernley, Fallon, Carson City, really all the way down to Goldfield. Beatty breaking out of the pack at 68 degrees. Not too bad. Amargosa into the 70s. I'm thinking winter might be over in Amargosa. How about you? Las Vegas, a pleasant 65. Death Valley, 73 degrees. Great time to visit Death Valley. Might go camping there this weekend. Looking at 58 degrees is our current temperature here in the paradise of Pahrump. We're heading down to low tonight at 41 degrees. Humidity at 38%, giving us lots of beautiful cloud cover. Beautiful colors in the sunset this evening as the sun run down officially at 4:49. It'll be up again and Adam bright and early tomorrow at 6:54. We'll look forward to a high of 64 tomorrow, a low tomorrow night at 39. And that humidity staying in there at 28% as we head on into the week. I think we're going to have some clouds, yeah, here and there. A lot of sunshine, though, too. Look at Friday. We get a big gust of wind blowing out all kinds of clouds, and we'll have a beautiful sunshiny day on Friday. Temperatures pretty much holding to the mid-60s, about 64 average as we head out throughout the week. 6-mile-an-hour winds throughout the week, just cloud cover here and there. I think it's going to be pretty pleasant. Thinking spring thoughts, but I'm just kind of holding my breath that it doesn't change. So we'll let you know. Back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
Thanks so much, John. Well, tomorrow we will have an update on that structure fire and all of the investigation concerning that, of course. And there's been so many fires. Be careful out there, guys, and make sure that your space heaters are not on extension cords and you're not overloading your circuits. That tends to be a little bit of an issue, and just take care of yourself.
Yep. Be safe out there. And again, that wraps it up for us tonight. Thank you for watching.
I'm Deanna.
I'm Stacy.
Good
Good
night.
night.